right, Sports Talker Nation, welcome back. Once again, it's your host, the G-Man. I apologize for a little delay in putting information out there for you all to consume, but much like everybody else, I have been personally consumed with the college basketball tournament, with my tattered and torn brackets, with the very gambling that I do, which you'll all come to know soon enough. But now we're back to kind of our bread and butter. We're going to go back to our 2015 NFL year in review, and we're going to continue down as we get to the bottom third of the draft order. Today we're going to talk about the Washington Redskins. So what went right for the Redskins? Well, a lot more than you would expect. Beginning of the year, I looked at them and I thought, my God, they are just a terrible, terrible team. It looked like me and three of my friends could have gone and completed 60% of our passes for 3 touchdowns against them. But as the year went on, they actually started to rely more heavily on their offense. They had uncovered a decent player in Matt Jones to at least supplement Albert Morris. Deshaun Jackson decided he wanted to play occasionally. And most importantly, as everyone in the NFL knows, they uncovered a quarterback. I've always been a big Kirk Cousins fan. I was surprised he lasted till the 4th round. They got hammered for taking him and RG3 in the same draft. Well, guess what? RG3 is now in Cleveland, where quarterbacks go to die, and Kirk Cousins got himself a $20 million deal as a franchise quarterback for Washington. Now, whether he is a true franchise quarterback or not, I mean, who knows what even that means. But I think he's a top 12 to 15 guy. I think you can win in the league with him. So he's something that went very right for them. Their receiving core went very right for them. Jordan Reed finally got healthy and did very well. Their offensive line was better than you would expect. Their defensive line also played well. So they had a lot go right for them. Now, granted, they played in a terrible conference, a terrible division. But they did much better than you would expect. So you got to give Jay Gruden a lot of credit. I thought he turned it around pretty quickly for a team that looked pretty awful. What went wrong? Defensive backfield, defensive backfield, defensive backfield. They could get thrown on. Now, towards the end of the year, they managed to shore it up at least a little bit to where their defensive pressure could mask some of those problems. But, boy, they just couldn't cover anybody. If you had a big receiver and a decent quarterback, you could eat them alive, and a lot of teams did. Offensively, still need to uncover that big running back, and they're not going to do it with Alfred Morris, who is now gone. I guess maybe they give Matt Jones a try, or they try to supplement him with somebody in the draft. But they need a running back. Tight end looks good. Receiver looks good. I'm a believer in Deshaun Jackson. I'm also a believer in Pierre Garçon. At least as a tandem, I think they're okay. I think they're both kind of divas, but I think they work okay. I do think they need some offensive line help in Washington. So where do they go from here? Very difficult team to figure out, because I don't think they're as good as their record indicated it was. But in that conference, in that division, I think they could replicate it next year. They could go 9-7, even 10-6. I still don't think they're built to win in the playoffs, but I think they could absolutely replicate that. So when it comes to draft time, they should take 2 corners with their first 2 picks. It's a pretty good cornerback draft. Maybe a depth offensive lineman in the 3rd round if you can get a decent guard in the 3rd round. And then maybe you supplement with a running back late, or try to hit a home run with a corner late as well, or a wide receiver late. But they need defensive backfield help. They need to improve their scheme and rely on their pass rush. And I think they can replicate what they did before. Again, I don't think they're a great team. I think they can be an above average to good team, and a lot of that is based on their schedule, and I do believe in Jay Gruden as a coach. So if they can keep Cousins upright, they can get it to his targets, and they can just hold off defenses. They don't have to shut anybody down with their defense. I think they do have a chance to repeat their success. So that's it for me on this year's review of the Washington Redskins. I'm the G-Man, and I am out.